This is the DnA Show
with DJ Dave and Amanda
on Wolf Radio.
Good morning. I'm David.
And I'm Amanda.
And welcome to another edition of the DnA Show. So, we got a little bit more snow and ice this week. Not entirely looking forward to that. Seeing we had some nice weather last week and we were getting ready for spring. We had that touch of spring and we just wanted nicer weather, and now here we go again. More ice and snow.
Well, it was melting up in Blandford a little bit. My client's driveway was pretty much all mud.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's a positive thing, but today it's all frozen again.
Yeah.
Are we ever going to get nicer weather so we can get out and actually do some work?
Oh, I hope so. We need it.
When do you think we'll actually be able to get out and do some lawn care work? Is it going to be this month or next month? Or?
Well, I would say next month. I just don't know when.
Oh, so we'll be stuck inside for another month?
Yes.
Ugh, unbelievable. So anyways, other than the crazy New England weather, we've had an interesting week. So, we always try to do all our, appointments in the wintertime when we're off, seeing that, throughout the spring and summer, we're completely busy and we don't have enough time to actually get out and, do any appointments or anything like that. So, why didn't you tell them what happened to you last week?
We had our physicals.
Yeah.
And because of our physicals, we need to do lab work. And starting off, I do not like needles, especially being blood drawn. I pass out every single time. So they know that going in.
Yeah, you've even had to have it done on your foot and your hand and everything else. But
well, the hand was this time.
Yeah.
But anyway, I passed out, did the whole thing. It was, I guess, I even turned gray, so I had oxygen for the first time. So it was a big thing for me. And then a couple days go by, and they call me up, and the doctor said this has never happened to me before, but they canceled your blood or something. And she didn't know what that meant. Either they lost it or they dropped it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, figures the person that has
the
anxiety and is a big ordeal for them, they're the ones that their blood work gets lost. But
actually, I think that was the second time that's happened to me.
Right. That's and the doctor says she's never seen this happen before, which is kind of crazy because my grandmother was having she was having an ear issue because of something that was she went to have her ears cleaned, and I guess they either punctured her eardrum when they were trying to clean her ears, or they got somehow she got an infection. Either the tools weren't sanitary or whatever. But she needed to go. She can't hear now, and so she was going to get blood work done, so they could do a CAT scan of her ear, and they had the same problem. They lost her blood work.
Yeah.
So they said it's a rare thing, but here, two people in our family in 1 week had this happen. So I don't know what's going on.
They lost her blood work, and she's in a assisted living, so she has to get transportation from, I don't know, it's another medical facility or something, and they can never seem to have communication. They didn't know where she was.
Yep.
At one point, and then poor Graham had to be driven back to the hospital to get more blood drawn. And while they found the first one.
Yeah, she was going in for the CAT scan, and she was all ready to have the CAT scan done. And then they put her back on the van and said, "No, you got to go home." And meanwhile, she can't hear anything because her ears blocked because of the procedure they did the week before, and so she has no idea what's going on. They put her back on the van without getting her CAT scan done, and Then, all of a sudden, I guess my aunt was calling them and saying, well, like, if you lost the blood work, you're going to have to redo it. So then they take her back off the van before she leaves to get more blood work done, which she just had done the day before. And she's all confused. She doesn't know what's going on. And, then they send her home again. So it's just a crazy thing. I don't know what's going on with the medical field today, but they just seem like they can't get their act together lately. It's just been a nightmare. Between Amanda and her and, what was it, last year? They canceled everybody's appointment because we had a dusting of snow.
Your appointment.
Right. But,
you wanted to be seen.
Right, but it wasn't just my appointment. It was everybody that had appointments that day. Yeah,
and it
because
was like
we were talking to people in the parking lot, and they're like, are they ever going to open? And then finally somebody comes in to either put a note on the door or something, and they're like, oh, well, you should have known that our office follows the school system, so if the schools are closed, we're closed. I've never heard of a doctor's office closing when the school's closed, but whatever. It's been a crazy thing.
And one guy was waiting for that appointment for 9 months.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden they cancel on him. It's crazy. So anyways, I don't know. Have you guys been having the same run around with healthcare? It's... man, the way things have been going for my grandmother, she should probably just go see a vet.
Yeah, they get better service.
They'd probably get better care. Because my aunt is talking about, my vet is so great. My dog gets seen, and they care about them. It's like, man, we should start going to see a vet like they did on Seinfeld.
And they have a lot more schooling because they have to learn different
animals.
Types of species.
Mm-hmm.
Our doctors know one species.
Right.
How hard is that?
Apparently it's hard. Yeah, so there you go. Craziness. Yeah, so anything else that you got on your list for the week that...
Well, we've also been experiencing gluten-free.
Oh, yeah.
We're learning about that.
I guess my sister's like big on gluten-free, and now it's trickling down to everybody else in the family. So, yeah, we did actually... try a gluten-free restaurant that we actually did like, but I guess it's in Holyoke, so a lot of people don't like that area. But
it's in the mall.
It's in the Holyoke Mall. But, recent things at the mall, either, getting shot up or stabbed or burning down.
That happens everywhere now.
Yeah,
so
apparently.
That means you can't leave your house?
Yeah, I guess you're stuck in your house because, you can't do anything. Even Walmart's got issues. Well, Walmart's always had issues.
Don't get me on Walmart.
Walmart's always had issues. Yeah, so I guess I don't know what's going on nowadays, but it seems like everything is like complicated and crazy. What about the sometimes you think back to those simpler days, where everything used to work. You used to be able to get doctor's appointments. They didn't lose your blood work. They actually knew what was going on.
Well, for me, I think they dropped part of it.
Yeah,
because they told me they got something.
They did. They got something out of it, but
so...
they didn't get everything. And luckily, your doctor was good enough to say you could skip the part that they couldn't get. But
yeah, and she's nice enough. She says because of my anxiety, I can wait 2 years. But I think I'm just gonna get it over with every year.
Yeah. So, what song makes you think of this past week?
I haven't had any time to think of songs.
I didn't. Yeah, it's
like
supposed to be the spur of the moment.
I'm not
thing.
like you, where just something pops in my head.
Yeah, well, to me, it's like the REM song. It feels like the end of the world as we know it.
Because of blood work?
Well, everything. You can't go to the. You can't go to the mall. The blood work. Who knows? Or in the year 2525, where they, everybody is in a vial, and you pick your people from a vial.
You mean your kids
or
something? Yeah, great.
One of those two songs, anyway.
You gonna play that when
probably
will.
25. Yeah. Well, we won't be here then.
Oh right. See, I'm bad at math.
Well, you'll be a few hundred years old. So, while we're talking about that, what song brings you back to your childhood? Or high school?
I'm not good under pressure.
Yeah.
And that's probably a song there.
Yeah, Under Pressure. It's a good song.
I don't know. Give me some time to think about it.
Okay, well, while you're thinking about it, I'll mention mine. So, one of the things that, for high school, I was like the Leon Womack song, I Hope You Dance. That was like my graduation song. So, that one's one of them that I think of. But the one that brings me back to like childhood is like Aaron Tippin and Working Man's PhD, because that was the song my father used to play every day he exercised on the Nordic track. That was like his go-to song. I don't know why he had like.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is he the one that does Thunder Island?
No, that's Jay Ferguson.
Oh, well, I like Thunder Island.
Yeah,
but
Thunder Island's good.
unrelated to anything else.
Yeah, did that make you think of something in your childhood?
No,
No.
I don't really think of
Songs don't bring you back in time.
Well, I'd have to hear them. I'm not like you, where you're a Rolodex of songs. We'll be anywhere. We'll be anywhere, and someone might just say a sentence, and Dave will be like, "Oh yeah," and he names off a song and the year it was made and the artist, and I'm like, "What?"
Well, you probably just got people questioning what a Rolodex is.
Well, hopefully they wouldn't. I don't think they're that young. They probably.
I don't know. People, for those of you who are questioning what it is, before you had your cell phone, people used to keep all your phone numbers on a Rolodex, which is like a little index card that goes into this revolving thing that would sit on your desk. So if you're going to make a phone call, either you look it up in an address book or you use a Rolodex, which is a revolving drum that sits on your desk.
My grandmother had something, I don't know if it was considered a Rolodex, but it was more flat.
Mm-hmm.
But she somehow wrote on these papers, and then you had a slider for like the letter.
Yeah.
And then you hit a button and it popped
I still
open.
have one of those in my closet.
Is that considered a Rolodex?
No, that's
like... It
like...
doesn't roll.
No, well, I think a Rolodex made stuff like that. Rolodex was like a brand name.
I mean, I like the idea of it, but I wouldn't want that sitting on my desk and like anybody get to it.
Yeah, well,
so there's no way of locking it up.
That was like the security issue you had back then.
Yeah.
You couldn't put a password on a Rolodex like you do on your cell phone. But back then, who was going to steal your phone numbers?
Well, now people do anything with phone numbers. You can hack anybody.
They didn't. That wasn't really like spam wasn't really a big thing back then. But so they, like you walk into any office, they either had an address book or the Rolodex or one of them slider things. They had one of those sitting in every single office, especially like the receptionist probably had more than one because they had so many different numbers they talked to.
Yeah.
So do you think of a song? No.
No.
Okay.
The show's not over yet. I can't just name off songs.
Okay, well, if you can't think of that, how about before we got into what we're doing, we did like TLC and, we worked for DigSafe and stuff like that. What was, without bringing up any specific person's name, one of the craziest things you've ever seen one of your coworkers do? Or heard about?
Craziest?
Well, you're thinking about it. I could mention I worked with somebody when I worked at the electric company.
How about putting your head in a manhole?
That was crazy.
Gas could be in there.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think you know what person.
I know exactly who that is.
I was sent to save him because he couldn't figure anything out.
Right.
I don't think that was the truth, but whatever.
No. Yeah. Well, the other one that you mentioned is like when you heard at Subway someone got fired for eating the dough.
Oh, yeah. I used to work at Subway, and I was in Springfield at the time, and I had a customer come in. She ordered cookies. The cookies come in, like, dough, which we have to slice up and then bake them. And she told me, oh, yeah, years ago, I used to work for Subway. I got fired because they'd find me in the freezer eating the cookie dough. I'm like, why are you telling me this?
That's funny. One of mine, when I worked for the electric company, I would run the forklift all the time, and I found one of my coworkers built a bed on a shelf, and he was sleeping in the shelf.
But it is kind of clever, but
Yeah.
stupid at the same time.
I'm like, I'm there with the forklift. I'm trying to take something off the shelf, and like the couple shelves underneath, there he is, rolled up. He's got blankets and everything in there. I'm like, and it happened to be like a section that we don't use all the time. It's like had some like stuff that was there like 30 years that people weren't really using, but there it is. I'm like, that's crazy.
Well, I heard of one thing that another coworker told me about that he saw. I didn't see it happen, but when we did DigSafe, for people that don't know that, we paint the utility lines for work to be done, so hopefully they don't hit it.
Yeah, and like Connecticut, they call it call before you dig.
Right.
Massachusetts is
So
called
anyway,
DigSafe.
like our main marking looks like a big H, where the center of that is where the line is. And my coworker told me that he saw another coworker lay down in between the markings to see how wide it is, because that person was known for making large
Large
H
duck
symbols.
lines. Yeah.
I'm like, okay, wow.
Now that I don't know why this. See, this is how crazy my mind is. When you're talking about making these H's, it just brought me back to that Seinfeld episode where like the guy was trying to dig up the road because he lost his keys in a manhole or
George.
a pothole. Yeah, and every time a car went over, it said, "Holy cow!" That's what the H stands for. Holy cow!
Okay.
I don't know. So it's just a crazy. Mine's completely off track. Oh, anyways, yeah, that simplicity of. So thinking back to the simple world, what things in childhood do you remember? If you can't remember a song.
Well, I liked it simple when, like, the TV, all you had was power, volume up and down, and channel up and down. Now you gotta hit this to get to that app on the screen over here. I can't even operate the TV anymore.
So
And it frustrates me, so I'm like,
what did you like better? The TV where you had to get off the couch and click the little dial to change
didn't
the
do that.
channel? Oh, so you came in when you actually had remotes?
yeah.
I remember before remote controls where you actually had to get off the couch and change the dial manually.
No.
You just get comfortable, you sit down, oh, the show's done and now there's something else on. I don't want to see an ad. I got to get up and change it now. And the cat's sitting on your lap. You got to move your popcorn.
Yep. My day was easier, apparently.
When the remote control came out, that was like a life-changing thing for TV.
We were only 3 years difference in age.
You had more modern TVs, I guess. I remember, like, I don't know.
Even like last night, not with TV, but your mom got an order.
Oh, right, Amazon.
They sent the wrong thing, and in order to
Because
exchange it or something.
Because it was edible, it was a food item.
Oh, is that why?
Yeah, that's why it wasn't. Because it's edible, it was a food item. They couldn't take it back. They can't take food back that's already.
But she comes running down here, David, I need your help, because the lady says, I sent you an email and with a link, and you got to take a picture and send it up to us, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
All these stupid things.
I know. I understand why she was doing it, because she wanted to confirm they actually sent the wrong item. So this way here she could send her out another item. You couldn't send that one back, so she was going to have to, refund her in order to send out another item. Yeah, it just, the way they think, the online stuff is so difficult. And every time you talk to tech support now, they got to send you a link to confirm who you are, because so many people are pretending to be you and identity theft.
One time when we were at the condo, I can't remember what I tried to order, but the box came and there was nothing in it.
Oh, an empty
Remember
box.
that?
Yeah. That happened to Chris, too. He ordered an iPhone or something like that, or an Apple Watch. Or it was either an iPhone or an Apple Watch, and then he got there, the box was empty.
And
it was sealed, so he says whoever took it was from the factory that shipped it out.
And before I knew David, I ordered myself a laptop from Staples back in the day. Probably a crappy one, I don't know. But I was excited.
Well, your camera that you ordered from Staples was crappy.
That was after the fact. But anyway, I ordered this computer. I wasn't able to get it right away for some reason, so they were going to send it to me. And the day came and no laptop, so I'm calling UPS, and Staples, and nobody knew where it was. And I called Staples, and they're like, we don't have any record of you buying it. I'm like, I'm holding the receipt in my hand. It was purchased. Well, I guess long story short, it was a new UPS driver, and he forgot how to log it into their little system. So that's why it didn't exist, I guess. But I did get it eventually.
Yeah, well, unlike the UPS guy that got arrested for stealing the packages and having a tag sale.
Yeah.
Well, who told us? Was that John that told us that?
From DigSafe, yeah.
Yeah, John, when we did DigSafe.
Well, we had, at the condo, I ordered it was like one of those, a baking cookie press thing. Nothing that exciting. And we had a camera doorbell. So we saw the UPS guy drop it off, take the picture like they usually do, walk back to the truck, and then walk back to our door, take it, and he went off with it.
Yeah, he dropped it off, took the picture, went back to his truck, got in the truck, drove around we have a little U circle. He drove around the U circle, came back, got back off his truck, walked up, took the package, and left.
He probably thought it was maybe the shape of it. Maybe he thought it was an iPhone or something.
Yeah, and this was around the time where John.
I wish I could have seen his face when he opened it up. Cookie press? What the hell?
And this is around the time when John had that guy get arrested. I guess it was his neighbor, or it was on the street, and he said, all of a sudden, cops come screaming around the corner, pull in his driveway, and they haul him off.
Because he was having tag sales like every weekend or something like that.
And then there was so many packages going missing. I don't know. That's kind of stupid to have a tag sale at your house when all these packages are missing. How stupid. Talk about dumb criminals.
Well, I was watching, sometimes we like to watch all the different channels on YouTube of people actually doing what we do, lawn care. It's kind of fun. I don't know why. But there's this one guy, he had a buddy with him, and they were driving down this road, and they look over the embankment, and it's all these brown boxes. And there was like 6 of them. So they gathered them all up, and they decided to be nice for the day, and they delivered them to the actual customers and just told them, we found these on the side of the road. I don't know how long they've been missing, but I'm like, wow.
I like the ones where these. I know you don't think it's interesting, but like the scammer payback people and
I fall asleep.
I know, but
It's all technical stuff. I don't know what they're talking about. I know it's a scammer.
Yeah, I like the guy that would build the porch pirate bombs. Those are
well, that's funny.
That is. The guy comes up and sees a package on the porch. He steals it. He opens it up, and it's a glitter bomb.
Yeah. I love the videos where they it's either paint or glitter, and then they get mad at the customer.
Right.
This is your fault.
Look what you... Yeah, the person comes back up to the doorbell camera. Look what you did to me.
I'm going to sue you.
Yeah, I'm going to sue you.
You're the one trying to steal.
I'm like, okay, well, you just... And it was like, she was a crazy woman. I was like, look what you did to me. I'm covered in paint. I'm like, well, it was your fault for stealing the box off my porch.
And on that note, they call those... any videos with women that go nuts or whatever, they call them Karens.
Well, I don't know why.
That's what I want to know. If anybody knows the reason why they're called Karen, I would like to know that, because my mother's name was Karen, so it's kind of like an insult to me. I loved my mother. She was a sweetheart, so why use that name? I
don't know. I have no clue. It's... Well, I think this is just surmising off my head. Maybe there was the first woman that went ballistic, so his name was Karen.
Yeah, probably, but
I don't know. My thought, like going back to the simpler era, I know one of the things I remember, and this was like, it was like a midsummer, like my sister and I were off for the summer, and I don't know, it was a super hot day, and like we were gonna get storms that afternoon or something. I ended up bringing Heidi in from the outside, my dog, because the cat wasn't around then. We brought her in because we were supposed to get storms. We were lying. It was super bright, hot, sunny day. I was taking a nap on the couch and just thinking that everything was perfect. There was nothing that we had to worry about back then. Now look at what we got to go through. It's just completely different. But of course, like all these things, you got all these different things you got to worry about when you get older, but back then you had nothing to worry about. Except, like, that same summer, I believe, was the day where my father called. He was at work. And I was going to go out to see Heidi in the backyard. She was in the backyard, and my mother just calls and yells, "Don't open the door!" I'm like, I got to go get the dog in if there's something wrong. And she's like, don't go outside. I'm like, okay, what's going on? Apparently, I didn't find out until like weeks later that I guess that day, like, there was a Monsanto leak. And
What?
Monsanto in Springfield, I guess they had a leak that day, and like the air was poisoned. And
Oh, great. So your dog was poisoned.
yeah, and we weren't supposed to go outside. It didn't. Nothing happened. But, of course, we were far enough away in Hamden where it didn't reach that far. But that was, like, we didn't find out till years later when we were working for DigSafe that John worked for Monsanto, and he was in that.
And he ended up getting cancer.
He ended up getting cancer probably because of that. But
Is he still alive?
I don't know. I know he retired and his son took his position.
But he also was a heavy smoker, so.
He was also a heavy smoker, but I know his son took his position. But anyways, he was in that Monsanto meltdown, which I thought was interesting because that brought me back to thinking about that. So, any crazy things from your childhood other than your pony getting out and wandering down the street, or your dog standing in the middle of an intersection?
Oh, yeah. My dad loves that story. Now he loves that story. But we were living in Ludlow at the time. And what street is that? Is that Center Street?
Yeah.
So Center Street by the mobile station. That's where my dad was coming home. And he was in that intersection. And he sees George, he was this German Shepherd Beagle mix, just in the middle of the intersection, and he's like, "Oh my gosh!" So he just opened up the door and he's like, "George," and George is all happy and he comes running. But yeah, that's the story of George. But he would also follow.
It's almost
me.
like what the AI robots do nowadays. They just sit in the middle of an intersection blocking fire trucks.
Those food things.
Yeah, them food delivery things.
It's a cooler on wheels, basically.
Yeah, just like the Teslas, like a refrigerator on
Yeah,
wheels.
it's stupid. But
So there's your crazy dog. So with that said, I don't know if you remember this right now, but I'll mention mine. What is your earliest memory you can possibly remember? Going back, your earliest one.
I don't know.
Just thinking back, what's the first thing you remember before you or after you were born?
Before I was born.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't be before you were born. It would have to be after, but
I don't know. Telling my first lie?
oh, okay. How did that work out for you?
My parents asked me, it was around bedtime, if I brushed my teeth. I said, yeah, I did. I didn't. Somehow they found out, and my dad was really pissed off at me. I don't know.
Oh. Mine, how old do you think you were?
I don't know, 7?
Yeah. Mine goes back to, I think I was 3 or 4. Well, let's see. Pam was a year and a half, so I probably was about 3. We were living in we were living in Wilbraham at the time. That was before we moved to Hamden. And that house that looked like, I think they took you by it one time, where we drove by it. It happens to whatever. Miraculously, it's still there. They had it was like right on the corner of the Mass Pike in Wilbraham, and the truckers would fall asleep at the wheel, and they would always go off the highway there. They would come down the embankment, and the trucks would explode. And I remember the second time it happened, and I guess it happened the year prior to that, and both times the truck driver was killed. And one of them the second one was a tanker truck, and it came down, and I just remember I was And like we would always do like this story time, and like Dad was with us in the bedroom. I was down a long dark hallway, and it's like the walls were like, I think we had like yellow patterns on the wallpaper. It was ugly. And I was in the bedroom. Dad was telling us stories before we went to bed, and I just hear a boom, 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 and I just hear Mom yelling, "Oh my God, it's happening again!" And she's yelling, and then Dad all of a sudden sweeps us up, and we run outside, and I just remember seeing this big fireball, and the truck, the driver went through the window, and he was on the hood of the truck. The truck was on fire. And that's, I just remember, like, we were out there for a while, and then all of a sudden the police were there, the lights, and that was the last memory, the first and only memory I have of that house. And then after that's when we moved to Hamden. I guess 2 times in a row, or 2 times within a year, it was too much for them, and they were out of there. So, but, yeah, that's the earliest memory I have. And I just remember the whole layout of the house. It was kind of weird.
Oh, yeah, I remember the layout of our house.
Yeah. And
which I drive by once in a while when we're in Ludlow, and I'm pissed off because it was a cute little brick house.
yeah.
And now they sided the whole thing.
Was that, but what,
and added a...
like, were you there, how old were you when you moved to that house? Because before that...
Before that, we lived in trailers.
Yeah.
I don't know. I want to say 5.
Yeah, okay.
I can ask my dad tomorrow.
Yeah. And yeah, right. And yeah, before that you were like younger than 5 when you were in the trailers.
Yeah, I don't remember the trailers.
No, okay. I think the only reason I remember that at like 3 years old was because it was a traumatic event.
Was it in your backyard?
Yeah, it was in our backyard. Landed in our backyard.
I think it would be more terrifying seeing a body on the truck. And I'm sure he didn't live.
No, he didn't. Both times the truck driver was killed. And it was always in the middle of the night because they're driving all night long and they just fall asleep, and they happen to go through the guardrail and landed in our backyard for whatever, because we were right on the corner of the Mass Pike. I don't know. I just remember, I think, because Mom was freaking out, Dad was in a rush getting us out of the house. I know it was just some traumatic thing that stuck in my mind, and that's why I still remember it. That's the only and earliest memory I remember. I don't remember anything that we did at that house prior or during or after that. I don't remember us moving. I just know that was soon after that we moved to Hamden. But, yeah. Anyways... That's craziness, and I guess going from that, well, back to your simple TV with its remote. What from your childhood no longer exists today?
What doesn't exist?
What did we... Things...
You have something in mind so I could feed off of that? I don't know. That doesn't exist.
Well...
A CD-ROM?
They still have CD-ROMs. There's one right in here in this computer.
Yeah, but you don't use it. I don't see
8-track tapes.
I don't see you take one out.
8-track was kind of going back prior to me, but I don't know. They don't really have cassette tapes anymore.
Yeah.
I still have a stack of them in the shed, but I don't see anyone playing them. Right.
Is there a way you can take that music and put it on a DVD so you can get rid of them?
There is.
Oh, you might
and I've done a lot of that. VCRs, that was big back in that.
And we still have some, which we should get rid of. He's got a lot of stuff. I want him to get rid of some stuff.
So, yeah, VCRs. I remember we used to, like... Back then, it was so...
money for them?
No.
Like for parts?
No. But back then, it was like so fun to like record music from the radio or record TV shows from TV, which now you got DVRs, that you would store on a hard drive or in the cloud, but they don't really have VCRs
I do remember having a children's cassette microphone thing as a kid, and obviously you just talk into it when you're a kid or do whatever, make funny sounds. I remember doing that.
Yeah, I used to have like a tape recorder that I would go around and just like record crazy things.
Yeah. Don't ask me how old I was. I
don't know. I was probably 5 or 6. We were at the campground, and I would just like...
You're just like your mother with numbers. You can remember numbers.
I remember numbers. I don't remember names.
And I remember names.
That's great. Put our heads together. We got a full person.
Yeah. Well, it's good for our lawn care business because you'll be like, we're going to this
I know.
house.
I remember
like,
nicknames.
That's so-and-so's house. Mm-hmm. So-and-so's street.
So, again, like, what did you think when you were something you thought as a kid that was really fancy that is like now no longer fancy?
I don't know.
The first thing that comes to my mind is like my father always like he was like the first one in his work to have a cell phone. He had one of them big ass cell phones that
we were clearing out your closet and
I
found one.
I still have one of them. But he also had a bag phone, which was like a car phone.
Bag phone?
Yeah, it was before cell phones. It was like it went in your car. It was a car phone. It was before the cell phones you were able to carry cell phones on your hip. It was prior to that. It was a car phone. I don't know what happened to that, but I still got the old beefy cell phone. It's in somewhere. I don't know where. I think it's in one of them buckets somewhere. But the first thing that came to my mind as far as something that I thought was fancy back in the day that's no longer fancy today or actually no longer exists was my father had this ginormous satellite dish, which they still exist actually because TV stations still use them. I can't remember what they're called, but the big black disc with the screens in them, and the screens always used to pop out because birds would hit it. But I thought that was pretty fancy back then, which no longer fancy today. People don't even have them in their homes anymore, except if you are a broadcast TV person, they still have them. But they're less susceptible. The reason they still are around because they're less susceptible to weather is like the smaller dishes that are in your house today. So.
Well, I know something that I liked, but I don't know if anybody would know what it is.
Oh yeah, what's that?
The M&M man.
Oh,
that you shake his hand and his other hand holds them for you.
Yeah, we found one.
My grandmother had one of those. When she passed, we went through her house, and stupid me didn't grab it because I was trying to be nice. Maybe my brother wants it. He never took it. So, I don't know where he went, but we found like a knockoff one, but it was the peanut. He was blue, and it came out his butt. Or in a flap in his butt. I didn't like it.
Not the same.
I want the M&M man if I ever find him again.
Yeah, they probably tossed it.
Oh, yeah, somebody tossed it, but I can't find it anywhere. I just liked the idea. I go over, I shake his hand, I get some treats. I loved it.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Yeah. So, how about, now again, this is dating ourselves.
Okay.
Games that we would play as a kid that kids today probably would
Mario.
not know of. Yeah, Mario
Kart.
I would think like
Donkey
I used to
Kong.
play Oregon Trail in school.
I don't think I heard of it, but I don't think I really got into that one. But I did in school. I did. I told you the other day. Now I can't think of the name of it. Where in the world is
Carmen Sandiego? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I remember that. I used to do Oregon Trail. There's this like weird game that they had on the Apple II where you could program worms that would pop out of clocks, and it would sing. The worm goes in, the worm goes out. Yeah, that was funny.
Tetris. I didn't like Tetris.
Tetris. How about like outdoor games? Like a lot of kids don't do outdoor games anymore, like street hockey or capture the flag. I'm sure some kids still do,
Cops
but
and robbers.
yeah, all sorts
Red
of
light,
stuff.
green light.
Yeah, Doom. That's a computer game.
It's not an
computer
outdoor game. Well, now
I-
in this
no.
kind of world, it's kind of like doing.
Here's what's crazy. is back when I was in school, the computer games we played in school back then, I played Doom and Descent.
In school.
In school, on the computer. They had them on the computer. Now you can't even mention the word gun in a school.
No. I used to be a daycare teacher, and we found out one of these hyperactive kids that it was hard to control would watch The Walking Dead.
Oh, that was a good show.
And I'm like, and he was like 3. I'm like, that's...
Well, I like, yeah. What's that? Thinking about it, that's like a newer TV show. It's 10, 11 years old, but according to like thinking back to our childhood, it's a newer show.
I want to know from you guys. Okay, I hate saying this, but I'm 40, and I'm
older than that.
Yeah, I'm doing grooming, and I'm the oldest one there, which feels awful. But the things they talk about, I'm like, really? They're in their 20s, and I still think that's a little old for watching SpongeBob. They talk about that almost all the time. I'm like, really? I've seen it, and it's so stupid, in my opinion.
SpongeBob is very stupid. Although, like, when we're watching those, like, clips of Matt's Off-Road Recovery, he uses SpongeBob in some of his clips.
Like the actual character, but
No.
the thing where it says, like,
20 minutes later.
20 minutes later,
yeah,
it's words, but it's...
Right.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But, yeah, they're like, was that the episode where... What did she say? Oh, he got stuck in the sand and his nose stuck out or something. I'm like, I just could imagine seeing them sit on the couch watching SpongeBob, and they're in their 20s. Late 20s.
Well, it's funny because like I never did it when I was older, and I don't know who did, but you would see like a lot of like on TV shows where people in their 20s and 30s are watching cartoons, like, you know. I don't know. Like, I can't think of any cartoons now.
Bugs Bunny.
Yeah, the one where he chases the Roadrunner around.
Oh, Wile E. Coyote.
Yeah, or the mice.
The mice.
I'm thinking from somebody. Well, I don't know. The other one that popped in my head
Jerry.
was Tom and Jerry. That's the one I'm thinking of.
There might be
Well,
one
Pinky
mouse,
and the
but-
Brain.
Oh.
But that came from somebody we don't talk about anymore.
Okay.
He watched that. I didn't like it, but he apparently was obsessed with it.
I didn't know that.
Uh-huh. Anyways, there's our time track in history.
Animaniacs.
Animaniacs. There you go.
I don't even know what character or what animal they were supposed to be, but...
The Warner Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Sesame Street. Mm-hmm. But
I didn't watch that much.
I didn't watch that much either.
But that's not really a cartoon.
No. But Garfield, I used to like Garfield. Mm-hmm. Or Snoopy.
Snoopy. I love my Snoopy.
Yeah, Garfield, Snoopy, he used to like them. The Lasagna Cat, which they brought him back. He's like on TV again.
Commercial for, what is it for?
It's a commercial for
About
something.
Obesity or something.
Yeah. And like, yeah, right. And he's like, he goes to the vet. He steps on the scale, and they're like, "What do you feed this thing?"
Lasagna.
Lasagna. Yeah, that was great. It's funny to see some of the old things come back. Like, oh, that was one of the things. Records disappeared, but they're actually making a comeback.
I remember listening to, back in the day. Okay. There we go. I used to listen to Red Wine. I like that song
yeah.
for some reason.
UB40. Red Wine.
Which is funny. I like the song, but I don't like red wine.
No, I like white wine.
And I would play that
because
a
it just
lot.
doesn't go. White wine.
Yeah.
No, that just doesn't go. Oh, great. So there it is. A trip back in time on the DnA show. I guess we could about wrap things up for this week.
Now you're going to have to play those.
I will. You want to? I'll play Red Wine next. So we'll
In your 25.
Oh, in the year 2525, yeah. I'll put those two on, Red Wine and in the year 25.
Yeah, I was house cleaning yesterday, and she puts music on. what was it? The Dixie Chicks. I haven't heard
The
Dixie
Dixie
Chicks in so long.
Chicks. Yeah, they changed their name. They're not the Dixie Chicks anymore. They're just called the Chicks.
The Chicks?
Yeah, they changed it.
Okay. The Dixie Chicks.
Yeah, there's like, well, who is it? The guy that's in jail now. He used to every album he changed his name.
Oh,
Puff Daddy.
Puff Daddy, P Diddy Money.
Yeah. Diddy Dirty Money.
Yeah.
And then he started his own record label. Bad Boys Records.
Good for him.
Make me choke. Now make me think. The only thing I'm thinking about is the TV that movie. They're Bad Boys.
Yeah.
What you gonna do when they come for you?
With Will Smith, yeah.
All right, now I'm dying. All right, well, you guys out there,
You can't die now because I don't know how to run this.
Oh well, yeah, we're meeting your father tomorrow, so we got that coming up. So
He probably wants to meet before my birthday, so.
yeah. Which, keep your fingers crossed that the snow will be gone for your birthday.
Well, yes, but no, because I need to get my grooming hours over. And it'll be harder when we're out there. So as long as the snow's here, I can finish the grooming.
But that's going to be gone before the end of the month.
Yeah.
And then April comes, and that's our busy month.
My question to you is, I've been thinking about getting her a little gift when I do graduate. Should I still do that?
Sure. At least try to smooth things out. Yeah, I would. You just, hopefully we can get you 2 more days before April.
Yeah, knock on wood.
Huh?
Knock on wood.
Yeah, knock on wood. All right, well, hope you guys enjoyed the show this week. We'll see you next week. Have a wonderful day, everybody.